I mean, it's so obvious. John Cena and Idris Elba absolutely crushed it together in the Suicide Squad. When did Hollywood forget that you just need a great chemistry and then you can just abuse the shit out of it over and over?
How are you alive? I just kept calm and carried on.
Just to prove that two actors having great chemistry is enough to make a film work, Prime decided to take the dumbest idea for a film possible, and then just shove these two into it and make it work anyway. Oh, you don't think this is the dumbest idea for a film possible? This isn't even the first film this year that Prime have released, featuring the US president teaming up with other world leaders to fight terrorists. Yeah. Let that sink in. Heads of State features Idris Elba as the British Prime Minister, a role I'd believe him in even if this was a West Wing style drama instead of an action film, and John Cena as the US President, a role that even Idris Elba's character in this film says he's not believable in. And yet, judging from the recent run of US Presidents, actually maybe it's a good thing, yeah. And if John Cena was actually President, would we be okay with it? Comparative to the current situation, absolutely, yeah. The film itself is just literally Idris Elba and John Cena bitching at each other like they did in Suicide Squad, except instead of in superhero suits, they're just in suits, yeah. And I love that instead of the obvious answer of just making both of them ex-military, they made Idris Elba ex-military and made John Cena's character an ex-action movie star who was in a franchise called Water Cobra, whose initials are WMD. And that tells you the exact level this film is on. And here's the thing that really works about this, because if you're making a film where the United States president fights terrorists, you're going to have a tone issue, okay? Air Force One had a tone issue. It kind of worked anyway. G20 that they released earlier this year, Prime, with Viola Davis as the president, massive tone issue. Awful. Terrible film, honestly. This is so balls to the wall insane and knows how silly the concept is and doesn't give a fuck, it just runs with it, that actually it comes out just being incredibly fun, incredibly funny, and so watchable. The big thing for me is that both of them sacrifice ego so much just for the sake of comedy here. Like, they are both great action stars. I'm sure they're both, especially Cena, good at doing their own stunts and stuff like this, and yet they are so inept, their characters in this film. Like, you can take them somewhat seriously as characters and as politicians, but the reality is that if a pair of politicians were in this situation, they'd be fucked. And honestly, without kind of Jack Quaid and Priyanka Chopra both turning up and being badasses and helping them out, they would have died horribly. And I love that that's a fact about this. Like, this is not really about these two teaming up as a buddy cop. I mean, that's what it is. It's a buddy cop road trip type thing. And he's amazing at that. But they're not, either of them, like, actually that good in a fight. They keep getting lucky. And the ways they get lucky, the way the action scenes are built is so funny. John Cena accidentally setting a guy on fire and knocking his hand in the car door. Idris Elba accidentally pulling a grenade pin and then just having to throw a whole bag of grenades. There's so many little things like that that I just appreciated so much about this. I was genuinely laughing out loud frequently. And I just think cinema's gotten, like, very serious or something, because there's, like, maybe 2 or 3 films where I've been laughing out loud semi-frequently this year. So it's really just nice to get that. The actual plot of this is insane, if you actually stop to think about it for a moment. But it's entertaining enough at all times and in different ways, because it is just great action scenes, but they're also very funny action scenes, and there's just a lot of great comedy. So many good puns. And it's doing all of that at once consistently, even though it's an almost 2-hour film. It doesn't feel like it at all. It felt fast. That you don't care. That you are actually able to turn off your brain. I feel like that idea gets overused so much in dumb films nowadays, and for me, most of the time, I'm not actually, even if I try, I'm not fully able to turn off my brain, and, you know, when there's a lot of really obvious dumb shit going on. This one, there was a lot of dumb shit going on. It's made me realize how few, like, films where comedy is the primary genre are getting released nowadays, and I don't think that they're trusting them to the box office, which is sad to see, but also, yeah, I get it. I get why they can't and feel like they can't. But still, I think this is unreasonably fun. It is one of the funniest films of the year. And I'm willing to say that 6 months into the year. It's so damn good. It really just is so watchable, and I feel like it's going to be so rewatchable as well. I don't necessarily want them to make a sequel because people do that and it ruins it, but man, the action comedy there was a real voomp of it in the teens. What are we calling that decade? It doesn't matter. And I feel like it's been dying off recently, so I'm just really happy to see this, and I feel like streaming slop is the way to go. Just throw it out there if you need to. So I'm giving everything harpoons for a reason. 4 stars. Seriously, this is exactly what streaming fodder should be. This is how you make actually really great, super rewatchable streaming fodder. Except that they should have kissed. Like, at least once. But it's such an unbelievably straight film that, like, you don't even think that's going to end up happening as, like, a joke or anything now.